Hi everybody, it's Julia, your trusted travel expert, helping you find that je ne sais quoi wherever you are in the world. And I've had 3 different client kind of interactions this week that made me realize that I probably need to update you on the whole whether to hire me or not situation. Because in one of the cases, somebody probably should have hired me. One of the cases, someone probably shouldn't have hired me. And the other one is a perfect example. So think of this as sort of the 2021 edition of to hire or not to hire. So the first thing is you want to hire me if you value what I can do for you, in that I save you time, I cut through the noise, I do all the legwork for you, I make sure that you're aware of all of the policies for booking, the regulations for where you're going, all of that, so that you don't have to do that. You don't have to spend ages doing all this research, figuring it out on your own, and therefore you realize or you recognize and you value the fact that I'm saving you a lot of time, because time is a precious commodity. We've all learned this during the pandemic, right? Is we all had tons of time, and maybe now we have lots of less time, or maybe even you're a busy parent with kids that you're trying to teach at home, and now time is crazy. And so if you want someone else to take that pressure from you, that time pressure from you, that is one great reason to hire me. The second reason to hire me would be that you trust my advice, and you trust that I am making decisions on your behalf that are good for you, that when I'm doing all this research and I'm looking at all the different options out there, I am choosing the best option for you, with you in mind, knowing that, it's something that I would choose to do, or knowing that it's right for your situation. I say this because I had a client, again, this is the client that probably shouldn't have hired me, but they did. And so I did all the research, put together a very detailed itinerary for 9 or 12 nights or so, and selected specific hotels that met her needs as far as she had told me. And then she went and did the whole thing herself and said, no, I want to book these hotels. And in about 90% of the cases, they were different hotels that I had suggested. And so, I did what the client wanted, and it sort of turned into a big old mess that she really would have been better served just booking on her own, because she wasn't trusting me and my advice and the relationships I have with, everything from hotels to partners. Because, some part of the reason why we have these relationships, right, is to get beneficial pricing and is to get benefits for our clients. And by choosing hotels herself without knowing what relationships work best for me and asked me to book those hotels for her, she was like, kind of cutting me off the knees from me being able to service her. And the third thing is sort of goes along with that, is there's a third client / friend who's at a luxury resort right now, which is wonderful. I'm super glad they took that trip. They didn't bother me with requesting to book it, and which is fine. Of course, everybody, especially if you like to plan on your own, I understand, and you can do it. But sometimes at these luxury resorts, if you don't book through me, you're leaving money on the table. Unless you have like an Amex, if you're going through Amex Black Card services or something like that, there are a lot of value adds that booking through me will give you for the same price that you would book yourself. So, everything from having breakfast included, which can be a pretty significant benefit, to having a welcome bottle of champagne waiting for you when you check into the room, to being able to leave a little later or check in a little earlier, depending on availability. But the biggest one, also dependent on availability, but it's really important to a lot of my clients, and that's a complimentary upgrade. So, if you just book the standard room and you book that on your own, you're going to get the standard room, and, you may or may not get a good view, depends. But if you book with me, the standard room price, you're going to get bumped up to the junior suite or the corner room or the better view room. I had clients at the Grand Canyon that got a rim view room unexpectedly. And I like to think it was because of me. You're leaving money on the table if you book a luxury resort that is in my portfolio and you don't bother me with it. And by the way, bothering me, it's not a bother, because guess what? I'm going to make money. That's how I make money, is if I book a hotel stay for you, I get, 10% of that back from the hotel, give or take, depending on which hotel it is. So, if you want to consider using a travel advisor, those are 3 things that we really want to think about. Do you value this person's services and what they will free up for you, your time and your energy, and your stress over knowing which way to go? Are you trusting this person's advice and knowing that I do this all day, every day, and I am in conferences and classes and learning about new products and new hotel openings and what hotel is refreshed and things like that all the time? This is my world and I live in it. And 3, that you're getting the best value for your money. Because, that's the other thing that often comes with hotel bookings when I can, even if it's just a weekend at a luxury resort, a lot of times there'll be $100 food or spa credit. That's $100 that you probably are going to spend at that hotel that you might not have to pay if you book through me. So those are the 3 main things that you want to think about when you're thinking about whether to hire a travel advisor or me, is, whether you want to spend the time, or whether you want expert advice and help, and whether you want value adds. So that's it for this week. A few things to think about, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.